friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope your final month of 2025 is wrapping up beautifully and you had an amazing holiday season. Today we are going to be making some big reading plans because we are finally filling out my 26 for 2026. If you recall, in my 2026 book journaling series, we made a beautiful spread for my 26 in 2026, but we only filled out 4 of those. So today we are just going to be filling in all the rest of those and discussing the 26 books that I want to read in 2026. Some of these books are new to me authors, some of these are new releases, some are arcs, and some of these have just been staring at me from my shelf for way too long. So let's get into those 26 books. I'm going to show you me adding it to my journal as we go through them, so that way we can slowly but surely see it all come together beautifully to my 26. So I like to make this spread. It doesn't replace my TBR, but it just helps me keep me a little bit more focused, because I do tend to want to buy other books and read a bunch of other books. And so sometimes I don't get to the books that I was really planning on reading this year. So this is just like a goal outline. I don't always finish my 25 for 2025 or things like that, but it is nice to have a focused layout of the books that I was hoping to get to. Let's begin with the 4 that we already have in there. First up is The Ballad of Falling Dragons by Sarah A. Parker. Okay, so this book was originally in my 25 for 2025, but as some of you may know, it was delayed twice. So it is actually only being released in April now. So I am really excited to get to this one. I'm glad she's taking the time to really make sure it is perfected the way she feels happy with. But this was one of my favorite reads in 2024. The first one, obviously. So I'm really excited for this one. It was instantly at the top of my list for the books that I want to read in 2026. Second on that list is The Neon Sky by Alyssa Vallejo. This is book 2 of the Idlewood duology. And I love a good duology. I got the first one, The Glittering Edge, from Fairy Loot, and it just stole my heart. It was such a good one. I think I give it 4 stars, which is, if you would think, is a lower rating for me, but no, actually I really like this one, and I'm excited to read The Neon Sky to finish off this series. This is one of the books that's a little bit more on the teeny side of my reads. I tend to read both YA and adult books, and I think this one is definitely more on the YA side of things, but it comes out in May 19th, and so I'm pretty excited to get to this one. I hope I can acquire an ARC before that, but it's fine either way. I'll still buy it no matter what. The next 2 on that list is Watch Me and Release Me by Tahira Mafi. So Shatter Me was one of my favorite series that I read in 2025. And I don't know where I got the restraint to not start reading the spinoff immediately, but I am super excited for this. I'm waiting. This is probably going to be one of my first reads in 2026. I just am so excited for this. I have the pre-order for Release Me already, purchased. So I am excited to read both of these and get started on another of her series. I honestly also want to go look through some of her other series that she has, because I know she has more. But I'm excited for this one. The second book, Release Me, comes out April 7th. Now on to some more of my 26 books. The next 5 are arcs that I honestly just feel so blessed to have received, because they were already going to be on my 26 for 2026, and now I have a digital copy that I can read. First up is The Fox and the Devil by Kirsten White. This one is expected March 10th, and it is a sapphic gothic fantasy, and need I say more? In this one, we have a vampire leaving a trail of bodies across Europe, and a grieving vampire hunter lineage daughter who is trying to find her. I think this one's going to be really interesting, really good. I love sapphic reads, so I'm excited to get to this one soon, and I wish I could start it now, but it's not 2026 yet. Next up is Tides of Fortune by Lauren Hamilton Murray. This book is expected July 21st of 2026, and it is the second book in the Stormweaver trilogy, which started with Heir of Storms. This is another book I got from Fairy Loot, and Fairy Loot is not only harboring my addiction for books by giving me ones every month that I pay for, but also making me want to buy other books in the series. So thank you for that. Heir of Storms was a 4-star read for me. I really did like it a lot. Again, you would think that the 4-star would mean less, but it doesn't. I honestly really loved it, and I am excited for book 2. The next one up here is The Faraway Inn by Sarah Beth Durst. This one is expected April 7th of 2026, and when I tell you, when I got the email for this, I did a little jump, I was excited. I did. I was really, really happy to receive this one. I read The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst in 2024, and I haven't gotten around to reading more of her work. I know there's a second one to that series, which I really want to read as well. But I was so enthused when I saw this on NetGalley. I thought it sounded right up my alley, so I'm really excited to read this one. I liked her writing. It's very fantastical, whimsical, and fun, and also cozy. So I don't know, that's a lot to explain it, but I love it, and I'm excited to read this one. Now, if you thought I was really excited for that last one, this one actually made me dance in my seat. I was in the car with my fiance, and I found out that I got it, and I literally, like, he got a little scared on the road because he was like, what is happening? And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. But I got Inamorata by Ava Reed. This one is expected March 17th, and oh my god, do I just love Ava Reed's writing. I love the Study of Drowning series, but I also really, really love Fable for the End of the World by her. That's actually my favorite from her so far. I know I still have more to read from her. I want to read things like Lady Macbeth and stuff, but this one is going to be so good. I'm so excited for it. Yeah, I just can't express enough how grateful I am to have received this arc. This one is a gothic fantasy with necromancy and vengeance, and I'm just really excited for this one. I think it's going to be really interesting. And I'm telling you, like, I was refreshing NetGalley and my emails like every day to see if I got this one, and I was a little disappointed until it came in, and then I was like, oh my god, yes, thank god. And the last of the arcs here we have After the Fall by Edward Ashton. This one is expected February 24th, and I received it from the Macmillan Early Listeners Program. It is coming up soon here, so I'm excited to get to this as soon as 2026 begins. This is from the same author who wrote Mickey 7, which inspired the movie Mickey 17. And I haven't read much sci-fi, but I think if there's any author who will get me into sci-fi, it probably will be him. This is a kind of funny sci-fi about if humans were the pets in an alien invasion story. I think it's gonna be really interesting, and it's not too long of a read for me to start off in sci-fi, so I really want to get to this, and I'm excited for it. Okay, moving on from my arcs, I have 2 books that I got from the Las Vegas Book Festival in October, and I want to read in 2026. First up, we have Heart of Arson by Karamia Sammy, and this is a sapphic fantasy story, and it promises betrayal. The thing that caught my eye when I was at the Las Vegas Books Festival, when I was there, is that the sign said lovers to enemies. And there's something so profound to me about how much deeper the betrayal must be to go from lovers to enemies versus enemies to lovers. So I'm really excited about this one. I love that it's a sapphic read. I love that it's self-published. I'm excited to get to this one in 2026. Next up from those 2 is Becoming Earth by Faris Jabbar. Okay, I'm obsessed with a good nature-focused book. And when I went to the panel and I saw him talking about his book and talking about nature, just the way he connects with nature and the way he talks about it, just is exactly where my passion for nature comes from. It is the exact same way that I love the world. So I'm so excited to read this and see more of his perspective in here. I love nature. I love getting books like this that can help connect me deeper with nature. So this is definitely one that I'm excited to read soon. I honestly, when I got it, I was hoping to start it like that night, but it was October and I had a lot of Halloween reads that I needed to get to while the season was still prevalent. And then it was no longer Halloween, and then it was the winter season, and there's just been so much that I need to wrap up for my 2025 challenges. So I am excited to get to this really early in 2026. This next one doesn't really have a category because it was kind of put as filler because they wanted it to like match up on the other page. So this is Exquisite Ruin by Adrienne May. This is a fantasy rooted in mythology. It was also an impulse buy when I bought it I think I bought it at Target a few months ago. I don't typically buy my books from Target. I also don't typically do impulse buys, not very often, because I just have such a long list of books that I already need to buy that I want to read, that I try not to do impulse buys because I didn't do enough research into it. It doesn't really go above the other books that I already wanted to buy. So I think reading it in 2026 is more of me needing to prove to myself that I didn't waste money or it wasn't a bad purchase. I do think it's going to be interesting. I do think it's going to be good. I just need to prove to myself that my impulse buy was not harmful to me. Next up, I want to read 2 series that have been sitting on my shelves for a while, so those are the next 5 books. The first series is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia Fairies and Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. I don't have the third one, but this is by Heather Fawcett. Okay, I was really interested in the series when I bought it. I thought I was going to instantly read it and instantly love it. And then I just saw a lot of like negative reviews from people that I really trust their opinions on Bookstagram and stuff. So I felt really sad and a little put off by it. But I am hoping to read it and make my own opinion of it in this year, just because I did buy them and I still think it sounds interesting. I'm just worried that I won't like it because the people that I like their stuff don't like it. Next up is the rest of the 100 series by Cass Morgan. I have the 100 Day 21, the 100 Homecoming, and the 100 Rebellion. I kid you not when I say that this series has been lingering in my room since high school. I was really, really into the 100 show in high school, and I only watched maybe the first 3 seasons, but I was like obsessed. I was really into it, but I didn't like where the characters were going, and I didn't like what was happening after a certain point. So I quit watching the show. However, some of my friends in the same fandom of that show had told me that there was differences, a lot of differences between the book and the show, and that I'm gonna like the character progression a lot more in the books. So I bought them, but at the time in high school, I just didn't really have time, and because I was probably in like junior year of high school, I was doing a lot of preparing for college, trying to take my SATs and things like that, and I just ended up not having time to really read in high school very often. And then I got to college and I didn't have time to read because I was doing a lot of, well, I was reading, but it was classic literature because I was an English major, so I had to do a lot of reading for those, so I didn't have time for personal enjoyment reading very often. So it's been a long time. Honestly, life just kept putting it off, and then I started getting back into reading, and so I've read a lot of other books, but I want to finish these so I can know whether I like them a lot more. I read book 1 of this series earlier in 2025, which I think is still great progression, but it's just a little older for me. It doesn't have the same, I don't know, it's definitely still interesting and still good. I just was not as interested as I hoped I would be, so it put me off. But I am going to get these off of my shelves, whether that's I like them and I put them on my shelves actually, but otherwise I will get rid of them if I don't like them. These last 9 are kind of like a randomized mix of ones. Some of them are newer purchases, some of them have been on my shelves for a long time, and some that I just really wanted to get to. First up, we have A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. Okay, and this book has been on my to buy list for a while. Every time I see it at the bookstore, I'm like, wow, I should get that. It's so pretty and I want to read that. However, I didn't feel like buying it at full price. There's just so many good deals of other books, and there's so many better ways to purchase books. And I have the library and I have just so many books to read at home. So I kept putting it off because it wasn't like urgent to me. However, I had this book trade with my friend because I had a book that was really smutty that I didn't want, and I knew I wasn't going to read it. And so I asked my friend if she wanted to trade, and she had this book, and I was like, that's a sign. I'm taking it. I'm going to read this one. I'm excited for it. It even has a signature here, so I am really honored that my friend traded this with me, and I'm excited to read this one in 2026. This one is another newer addition to my shelves, and that is Inferno's Heir by Tiffany Wang. If you're ever wondering how easily I can be influenced, pretty easily. This one I saw a lot of good things about from Kevin T. Norman, which is a great book talker, book Instagrammer, all of that if you want to check him out. But I loved how he described this book. I really want to read it. It sounds really, really good. It sounds like, I don't know, it just is such cool fantasy vibes to it, and I'm excited for it. Next up is The Grammar of Fantasy by Gianni Rodari. Okay, I bought this one in June of 2025, and I have been wanting to read it for a while, but I've been putting it off because it's not like a fun read. Well, it is kind of a fun read, but it's not like a story per se. It's more a collection of different stories and how this language of fantasy came to be and things like that. So it's not like your typical like fiction, which I tend to read a lot more of. So I've been putting it off, but I do want to get to this. I think it's going to be a really good read, so I'm excited for that for 2026. The next one on my list is Hamilton by Ron Chernow. This I bought in high school because I started my Hamilton musical phase, and I was obsessed with it. So I wanted to get this because I wanted more information about that and to learn more about that history. I didn't get to it because it's so big and heavy, and like I said, high school, college, all of that was too busy for me. I think this is one of the biggest books on my shelves. It's about 800 pages, but I'm hoping to do a challenge for myself of reading my biggest book on my shelves, and I think this one will be it. Next up is the Book of Dragons, edited by Jonathan Strahan. So this is an anthology of short stories and poems by a lot of different authors, all about dragons. And I really love dragons. I was so excited when I got this. I got it from a raffle or I think a giveaway, something like that. But I don't win a lot of things, so I was really excited that I got to choose one, and I wanted the Book of Dragons. I really want to read this. I just have been putting it off because I just have a million books to read. Well, not really. I wish I did, but so I've been putting it off, but I'm excited to get to this one. I like a good anthology, so I think I'm gonna really enjoy it. Next up is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I hope I pronounced that right. Okay, this one I think was even on my 25 for 2025, and I have just put it off for so long because it is just tragic and sad, and I'm not ready to hurt my heart like that. But in 2026, time for the heartbreak. I'm going to read this, and I'm going to probably cry, but this is going to be read. Next up is The Underwood Tapes by Amanda Dewitt. Okay, my lovely friend managed to get it signed for me and give it to me, and I feel so honored to have been someone that they reached out to ask if I want that. And I honestly was really excited for this one, and I don't know why I haven't read it yet. It's not even that long. There's just a million books all the time, and I feel like I just keep putting off the wrong ones and reading ones that I don't really like. And yeah. Anyway, so I want to get to this one soon. I think it's going to be fun. It's a YA like mystery type one. So yeah. Next up is The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. Okay, this is another sapphic one. I think it's also kind of like a cozy fantasy. I'm pretty excited for this one. It looks cute, it looks sweet, it looks fun. Yeah, I like this one. I'm excited. Okay, and finally, but not least, we have Curious Tides by Pascal Laisel. Okay, this one has been eyeing me from my shelves for way too long. I got this pretty sprayed edge edition. And every time we go to the bookstore, my fiance like points out this series, and he's like, "Oh, look at that book! It looks so cool." And it's like the second in the series and stuff. And I'm like, "Yeah, but I gotta read this." So I do want to read this one. I want to get into it. It's just been sitting on my shelves because it doesn't enthuse me as much as some of these other series do, but I'm going to get to it because it might be perfect. It might be exactly what I love. So that is my official 26 for 2026. I'm super excited about all of these books, and I like that it makes it feel both refreshed and organized at the same time for my books. Let me know if you're doing a 26 in 2026 too, and what books made your cut. And if you approve or disapprove of any of the books on my list if you've read them. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more bookish content, and stick around so you can see more journal videos, TBRs, reading plans, and just the general chaos that is my reading life. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and until next time, happy reading!